Hello everyone, welcome back to the Discord Racing Association's International Endurance Championship. We are here at Barcelona in the rather cloudy weather for the Prologue for Season 2. Currently we only have a couple of cars out on track. This is because we are getting ready for qualifying. As always, I am your host Joe90. You may hear Husky in the background. He is helping me with race direction today. Husky, we've still got three GT cars on track. Can you make sure that they're not for the time being and get the LMP1 cars that need to be on track for quali on track?
Yeah, don't worry. Yalk, I think, is going to AFK for a second, and Zozo's getting translated right now to hop off the track.
People are starting to tune in to watch the race. I'm gonna mute sound on my laptop a minute and then get going. Right. Have we got all of the LMP1 cars on track? Have we only got 3 of them, Husky?
Oh shit. You said what? We're good to start? Yep.
Have we got all of the... Is that all we've got for LMP1 today? Is 3 of them?
Yeah, Salonica can't make it anymore. I think he had like a family problem or something. And then Ruben, I have no clue. Ruben's just not here. So go ahead and start. We'll see if one of them join before the race begins.
Right, in that case we're starting qualifying for them. It should be a relatively quick session there. We're doing 10-minute qualifying sessions basically just because we're not here to test the entire duration of qualifying. We're just making sure that all the systems are functioning properly for the start of the season. So Bolden first onto the track, followed by Jens, followed by Sparkane. 3 LMP1s here for testing today. Bolden back in the Audi R18, Jens in the R18 as well for WSR, and Sparkane a new entry for Spark Cruiser Racing in the 919.
Alright, I'm gonna go dip from the lobby for a second. I have to make sure someone's livery is uploaded because We're not sure if I uploaded it or not, so I'll be back in like 5 seconds.
Okay. So, at the moment, all of these cars are on their warm-up lap. Jens just getting out the way of Sparkane there. Bolden leading the group down towards the end of their out lap and the start of their first flying lap. For the first time ever in DRA, we also have aerodynamic adjustments on, so we're going to see a little bit more variation in lap time between these cars throughout this session. Was quite close to the track limit there for Bolden, coming onto the start-finish straight for his first flying lap. Bolden really taking some liberties here with track limits. Running all the way up through turn 3, coming out of the corner, straightening out for turn 4. Throwing the car as hard as he can into turn 4. Now down to turn 5, hard on the brakes. Fast left-hander, down to second gear. Back on the power again towards the uphill section and the back straight. A little bit too much curb there coming back up the hill. Coming almost completely flat through that corner onto the back straight. Charging down towards the hairpin. Hard on the brakes again for that hairpin. Hard over to the left. Then left a little bit more for the kink, followed by a sweeping 180-degree right-hand corner. Then round through the final 2 corners. This is the no chicane version of Barcelona, so these LMP1 cars will be taking this final pair of corners almost completely flat out here. Crossing the line to start us off a 127.830. Next car across the line will be Jens. A 129.4 for Jens to start us off. And a 131.1 for Sparkane. This session only being 10 minutes long, it's critical for these drivers to get these fast laps in early, because of the nature of this session, where it is just a systems check today. They're going to be checking all of the systems, making sure these cars are working as they intended in their private testing pre-season, making sure that they're all comfortable with it, comfortable with their adjustments, and ready to go racing. Bolden 2.5 tenths down on his best lap. He might find some time through this final sector. And Bolden just shy of a 10th off his best lap. He's going to be kind of banking on that first flying lap to be enough here. Taking some real liberties with the track limits. Jens a 129.0, Sparkane a 131.0. These cars just starting to ramp the pace up here just a little bit as we get to the halfway point in the session.
Alright, I'm hopping back in now.
Okay. Bolden nearly 7 tenths off on this lap. He has had a really shocking first 2 sectors. He'll be hoping that he can shift this momentum as he comes through the final couple of corners to start a really good lap. Jens taking almost a second out of his best lap there. Let's see how Jens is doing. Right now he is about identical as Bolden is on both tyres and fuel. Just coming around the middle sector now, he's going to be really starting to crank that Audi up. He knows that the pace is in that car. He knows he can close the gap down to Bolden in front of him. And he knows that he can find the time in his lap to do so as well. Four tenths up in the middle sector. It's a good start for Jens. Will he manage to keep that momentum up by the end of this lap? Bolden improving by 1.5 to a 1:27.7. Jens improving as well at the moment to well, not improving. He lost 6 tenths in that final sector. He was 2 tenths down on his best lap. Almost 8 minutes elapsed of this 10-minute session, so these drivers are only going to get 2 more laps at most of this circuit before the end of the session. Jens up in the first sector. Small twitch there coming through turn 4. Now coming onto the back straight, Jens is absolutely flying here at the moment. He is trying to find as much time as possible, and he's nearly 2 tenths down again. What is going wrong for the WSR driver? Half a second down on his personal best lap. Bolden now at a 1:27.0. Is he going to find any more lap time out of that Audi? As Jens goes off at turn 2, hard into the barrier. The car just stepped out on him there. It's a very unfortunate moment. Sparkane just coming round the inside of turn 3 there, past Jens. Jens with some nose damage and suspension damage on that Audi now as well. Just bringing the car back around to circuit. He is going to be out of time to complete another fast lap, so the order currently is Bolden leading, Jens P2, Sparkane P3. Bolden finding another small scrap of time there, a few hundredths extra on his best lap. Sparkane coming across the line, no improvement there, so the order we are going to have for this race today in LMP1 is Bolden, followed by Jens, followed by Sparkane, and Audi 1-2 as things are. Right, Husky, can you hear me?
Hello, Chin.
Can you get the LMP1 guys off the circuit if they're not already? And get all of the GT cars in?
They clicked out very fast. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired at the minute.
1 second.
And Sparkane just re-entered.
Yeah, let me get Clemson real quick.
Right. There's a couple of things already that I'm going to look at in the debrief when we're done today for the drivers. So, yeah, just make it clear to the guys that once the race is over, don't just leave the Discord VC. We all need to sit in there and have a conversation.
Got it.
Because there's a couple of little things that I've seen that people are going to not necessarily get in trouble for right now, but they are going to be in trouble for it if it continues. Right, have we got all of the GT cars on the circuit?
Yes. Also, I completely missed what you said.
There's just been a couple of little bits and pieces that I've seen that we're going to need to debrief on post-session.
Noted. Alright, we're good to go. If you want to.
Just making a note of something and then... Yeah. Yeah, we can go for that. Right, so GT qualifying is about to start. We have a mixture of 6 manufacturers on this grid for the GT class. We have BMW, Lexus, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche and Audi, representing a variety of teams as well. 10 cars in the GT class for this session, so we'll be getting underway right about now. So the session's underway. We have Dylan leading us down into turn 1, followed by Clemson, followed by Yalk, followed by Phil, followed by Yannick, Husky, Sem, Isaac, Craigo and Zozo in the Audi. Clemson just taking the lead through turn 3. This GT3 session is going to be rather chaotic. The LMGT class rather tends to be quite crowded, and today's no different. 10 cars taking to the grid for this session. All of them very varied. We have 2 BMWs, a single Lexus, 2 Lamborghinis, 3 Porsches, an Audi R8 and a Ferrari. So Clemson just leading the field round to the start of the flying laps. he's probably going to be setting the pace here. The BMW M6, quite a high level performing car around Barcelona, same as the Lamborghini behind him of Yalk. Dylan just bringing the Nova Porsche round turn 3. Phil bringing the WSR Lexus round behind him as well. Yannick behind them. Husky bringing up the rear of that small group. Followed, actually not bringing up the rear, followed by Sem. Isaac coming through turn 4 now, down towards 5 and 6. The new livery on that IB Racing Ferrari looking absolutely fantastic here at Barcelona. Craigo coming up in the other 9PP M6, followed by Zozo in the Audi R8. And we have a bit of a battle on our hands already here. Clemson under pressure from Yalk somewhat as they come through the final couple of corners. Yalk setting the fastest lap so far, followed by Yannick, followed by Dylan, followed by Clemson. Phil following that up as well. Sem following that, Husky following that. The top 7 currently within 8.5 tenths of one another. So Yalk currently setting the pace in the Lamborghini, Yannick following that up very closely. This is a really interesting situation right now for a lot of these drivers. The top 8 are currently split by a little over a second, which is fantastically close for cars that are all varied and different. Sem just going round there, coming up onto the back straight. Craig just passing him there. Zozo currently 1.4 seconds off the pace. Husky having an absolutely torrid time at the moment. He is 1.5 seconds off the pace at the moment. And as things are, not many signs of improvement either from the American driver who did so well last season. Craig improving there to make it 8 drivers within 9/10 of a second of one another. This truly is the closest that this LMGT field has been at any point on any circuit in the history of this league. Now Isaac just coming down into the final couple of corners, 9 and a bit tenths off the pace here. Yalk about to start what will be his final flying lap, as we have just over 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this session. He is going to have to improve significantly to be able to find some time. Sem just improving slightly there. The top 3 currently split by less than 1/10 of a second here. And more importantly, with 3 different manufacturers as well. The pole sitter Yalk in the Lamborghini, P2 Yannick in the Porsche, P3 the BMW M6 of Clemson, P4 Isaac, which means we have 4 different manufacturers in the top 4 places. The first car where there's a repeat manufacturer is P5 Dylan in the Nova Porsche 911 RSR. Coming round the final couple of corners now, Clemson bringing everybody back to the line. Will he improve at all on his best lap? No, he won't. Yalk the next car across the line. Nobody improving in the last moments of the session so far. Craigo just finding a little bit more time there to bump himself up to P4. And that is the closest qualifying session we have ever had in DRA at any stage in the league's history. 8 cars separated by less than 7/10 of a second on lap time. This prologue is going to be a real treat for those of you viewing at home. Right, and with qualifying over, we now have to set the grid for today's prologue. No points are on offer here. However, it will be a rather interesting session, as we have so much variety in the GT class in terms of not just the pace between drivers and cars, but also the choice of strategy. As we do have a new rule being tested here today, which is that all drivers have to run the soft and medium tyre at some point throughout this race.
Joe,
Yeah.
are we going to do, like, are you going to have, like, a setting enabled for the mandatory soft and medium tires, or is it just, like, eyeball it and hope that everyone does it?
Eyeball it and hope everyone does it. I can add that setting if you would like.
Yeah, cause someone was asking about it, so, I mean, it probably would be better, because if someone's going on the hards, okay. But I don't foresee anyone going on the hards, especially with how bad the mediums were being complained about.
Yeah.
We also don't have Scott here, so he's the only hard runner that would run with the hards.
Usable tyres, medium. I've just mandated medium and soft, and then I'm gonna make usable tyres all.
Yeah.
And then required type medium and soft. And that way, if you do not run the medium or the soft, you will get a hefty penalty post-race.
Alright.
And I think it's a 1 minute penalty that the game gives you for that.
Yeah, it's a pretty big penalty.
So yeah, if everyone gets back in, I'll just double check the grid order's okay, and then we'll get on with it. So for everybody who's watching currently on Twitch, just to recap what we're doing today, we are here to just test and make sure that the settings we have for our upcoming season, Season 2 of DRA International Endurance Championship, are working and effective and as we intended. Right, the grid is in the correct order now. Can you ask the guys if everybody is ready to go? And then we will get underway. There is a lot of stuff to be talking about now, Husky, by the way, on the debrief post-race, because I have spotted about another couple of things that need to be discussed.
Alright. I think we're good to start. I asked, and quite literally no one responded, so I'm going to assume that we're good to go.
Okay. In that case, you have 5 seconds. We are not moving. There we go. The game has just given Bolden a colossal jump start.
Yeah, you want to restart that?
Yeah, we'll call a restart. Yeah, we'll get everyone off the circuit. Yeah, if you just want to explain to the guys that the Gran Turismo system just had a failure there where we got a horrifically long start on the on one of the LMPs, I'd appreciate that. Just explain the situation to them that, like, we're not trying to be, you know, we're not trying to be unhelpful here. We are trying to make sure that this is either option A, a setting that is possible to replicate and therefore it becomes a known bug to watch out for, or option B is a one-off and we just needed to reset everybody.
Alright, everyone make sure that you've got your setups on though, because this will be a doozy. You think we're good to ask if everyone's ready again?
Yeah, just make sure everyone's ready again.
Right.
Just apologise for the reset and everything, but, you know, there's not a lot we can do realistically if the game gives us that huge head start on Bolden. Like, he had, like, 20 car lengths of clearance before P2 went.
I believe we're good to go. Can maybe give it like 5 more seconds, or not. That's great. It's fine.
Yeah, realistically, it's not like changing downforce is a hugely long settings change to do, unlike DGTS where you're changing everything. Right, so apologies to everyone for that start. We're just about to reinitiate it and just verify that this has actually worked. Yeah, and we are underway here in Barcelona for the DRA Prologue. Bolden getting a bit of a poorer start compared to Jens. Jens currently under attack by Sparkane. Sparkane ever so slightly making contact there with Jens, coming through turn 1 and 2. And we have a car off in the GT class. That was Isaac going off. He has damage on his front right corner. Dylan with damage on his nose as well as a result of that.
Yeah, a little bit of a moment through turn 1.
Right.
Mixed with.
Yalk currently leading us up towards the back straights. Following him is Yannick, followed by Clemson and Craigo, followed by Chaos Phil, followed by Dylan, who has nose damage and will likely need to be pitting at the end of this lap, followed by Sem, followed by Zozo, followed by Husky. Isaac bringing the rear up on this group. He may opt to pit and fix his car for that suspension damage in a moment, just to make sure that his Ferrari is at optimum performance. This race obviously being a test round, points are not a factor here, the championship is not a factor here either. This is all about doing a systems check and making sure that everybody is in the right place in terms of not only their equipment but their cars and their setup and how the adjustments work for their car as well. Husky just ever so slightly deep there. The rest of the field really still quite bunched up in the GT class. In the LMP1 class, Sparkane and Jens are having a massive battle coming through the final couple of corners. Jens on the medium tyre, Sparkane on the medium tyre, also Bolden opting for the medium on the start as well. So the strategy in LMP1 appears to be to take the mediums early and then to run the softs later as the car speeds up. Yalk with rear right damage as well now, so somebody else has been tagged there. And that is Clemson with nose damage also now. Sem all over the rear of Clemson's bumper, pulling out of the slipstream, pulling alongside him, going down the main straight. And he is all the way past Clemson before turn 1. Clemson just having a quick look to the inside there. Sem a little bit deep through the corner. Clemson getting all sorts of out of shape through turn 2 and the entry of turn 3. Just having to pick himself up and get that car back underneath him a bit better than it was before. So with just under 5 minutes elapsed of this race, Bolden still comfortably leading in the LMP1 class. Sparkane still being hunted down by Jens for P2 and P3. Yannick leading by 2.7 seconds in the GT class. Followed by Yalk, followed by Chaos Phil, followed by Craig and Dylan, followed by Sem, Clemson, Zozo, Husky and Isaac, who has already done an extra pit stop to repair damage to that Ferrari. Small slide there for Husky coming through turn 2, same as what we saw for one of the 9PP cars earlier. Sam now catching up to Dylan in front. Dylan and Craig just starting to close that gap on Phil. Meanwhile, up towards the front a little bit more, Jalk is starting to close that gap down onto Yannick in the lead, despite the rear right damage on that Lamborghini suspension. That gap now down to 1.5 seconds between Yannick and Jalk. This battle really could get quite interesting here in a moment. Jalk ever so slightly deep out of the final corner into the gravel. And in the LMP1 class, Sparkane is still only just ahead of the ends. How long can he stay there is the big question right now. Bolden comfortably in the lead by 14.5 seconds at the moment, just catching up to Isaac to lap him through the final two corners. Huge snap of oversteer there for Bolden coming through that final corner. Fairly large time loss as well for the American driver. Yannick still leading by about 1.5 seconds. Jalk still closing that gap down. Both of these drivers in a rather unique position at the moment as we approach the 10-minute mark of this race. Neither of them having really had any experience previously leading in DRA, and with a large pack of cars behind hunting them down, the pressure really is on for both of these drivers. The other important thing here is Yannick's front left tyre on that Porsche 911 RSR has worn out significantly more than the front left on the Lamborghini chasing him. That's going to play a major factor as we get even further into this race. With that tyre wear being so high already, Yannick is going to have to start managing that front left tyre, or otherwise he's going to end up with Jalk. And there we go, there's the mistake. Jalk is all the way up the inside and past Yannick. And then Jalk makes a little mistake, he's in the gravel. Yannick darting to the outside of the corner, Jalk hard on the brakes, just defending the position from Yannick. And this is where that train of cars behind them is going to all of a sudden start closing up. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in the train behind them, and as these cars close up, as a result of differing tyre strategies and differing tyre management, these two drivers in the lead who are fighting for first and second right now are going to come under threat. Now Yannick starting to fall ever so slightly off the back of Yalk here. Phil's starting to close that gap up just a little bit. He's taken 0.3 out of the gap between himself and Yannick in the last lap. Obviously not helped much by the fact that Bolden is now on his way up to lap Yannick for the first time this race. And Yannick committing to the pit lane rather early, it has to be said. He's committing for a pit stop extremely early. He's going for a stop on lap 7 of his stint. That front left tyre obviously just about to give up on him. Meanwhile, Sem and Dylan still fighting for position on the way down to turn 1. A small touch on the way down there between them. Dylan still with nose damage. Sem, that Lamborghini with just slightly better tyres than the Porsche in front at the moment. And now the important thing here is that the medium shod runners that are at the back of this group are all now starting to really close that gap up. Both Husky and Zozo, running in the mediums from the start, are going to start really closing this gap down to these two drivers as they start fighting more and more. And not only as they fight are they going to be caught up by the guys behind them, they're also going to be wearing their own tyres out even more than they already are, and increasing the pace difference between their worn softs and the lightly worn medium. Sam looking to the inside there of Dylan. Dylan letting him have the position. Now both of those drivers are going to start coming under pressure from the LMP1 P2 position 2 car of Jens, followed by Sparkane as well. Both of them just being caught in the final two corners here by the LMP1 leader. Rather unfortunate place to be caught by any car that's significantly faster than you on this circuit, especially given the fact that not only are you going to have that momentum shift, but you're also going to have the overtaking opportunity as well, as Dylan leaves the lobby.
Disconnection.
Oh, okay. We're going to start seeing a lot of pit stops in the GT class pretty soon, I think. A lot of the cars are wearing through the soft tyres extremely fast at the moment, Husky. The mediums are going about 5 times slower, if not more, than the soft.
Yeah, I kind of felt that in testing whenever I was doing like a few laps. Granted, I still have no clue why I'm so slow, but we'll go with it.
Now this is an interesting position. Yalk currently 9 seconds in the lead from Phil. Phil is going to have to stop extremely soon for that front left tyre. It is far past wanting to be changed off that Lexus RCF. And immediately behind him he's got Craigo on a medium shod BMW M6, who is just ramping the pressure up incessantly. Now, Bolden with a 31-second lead over Jens in LMP1. Sparkane 2 and a bit seconds, 2.7 seconds behind Jens for P3 in LMP1. Yalk currently leading by almost 10 seconds in the GT class. Craigo now P2, Husky P3 in class, Zozo P4, Yannick P5, as both Sem and Phil pit for fresh tyres. The softs going back onto both of those cars. Also, Sem opting for the mediums and getting a 3-second pit lane cutting penalty in the process. Phil on his way out as well, also selecting the mediums, interestingly. This is going to be interesting because there's cars ahead of them now that are on fresh softs and fresher mediums. However, there's also some cars that are already on worn mediums with slightly lighter fuel loads and that are running significantly faster because those mediums already have heat built up into them. Sam just expressing his distaste with the pit lane cutting penalty he received in the chat there. Yalk now opting to pit off the soft tyre onto another fresh set of softs, it looks like. It's an interesting call by Yalk, I have to admit. He is going to be pretty close to Isaac, who is coming back after an early pit stop as a result of contact on lap 1. However, Isaac is on a bit of an alternate strategy here because everything is going to go out of the window very shortly when the safety car system comes into play. Husky, can you hear me?
Hello.
In the next 2 to 3 laps,
Yeah.
if there is anybody near you, have an accident with them. If not, have a nice big crash.
Ooh, but why?
It's so that we can test the safety car system, and you're the only driver who I have a direct line of communication with to say, trigger a safety car. And to the viewers at home, I promise I'm not Flavio Briatore.
Guys, he's Flavio. He's Flavio Briatore.
But yeah, feel free to do with that information what you will. If you want to ease off a bit and potentially have something go on with the 2 guys behind you, or if you want to, you know, wait for an LMP1 to be lapping you and do something stupid, you know, that's up to you, but, you know, do something silly that's going to trigger a safety car in the next couple of minutes.
Well, I am gonna, what's it called? I'm not gonna ruin someone else's race, so I'll probably just go have like a massive off
don't say when you're going to do it, or actually no, do say when you're going to do it, just because that way I can then get the messages ready to go as fast as we can.
I'll probably do it about 35:00, give or take.
What, 35 minutes?
Yeah, 35 minutes left in the race is what I mean.
Yeah. My suggestion would be to do it in the final 2 corners. Just purely because of how deep the gravel traps are there.
I got it. I don't think I know what I'm gonna do.
So, for everybody watching, hello, I'm Joe90, I'm the host today. I'm also the race director. We're currently doing our prologue for the start of the DRA International Endurance Championship season. I'm just talking to Husky here, who is in party chat with me. He is also, as you can see, in the lobby here. We're just about getting ready to test the safety car system. The other drivers in the lobby have been briefed that this will happen somewhere between the 25 and 35 minute mark of this race. They don't obviously know when that's going to happen, they don't know what's going to trigger it. All they know is that there's going to be a safety car somewhere in that region.
Guys, don't listen to him, he's Flappy Toy. He's not Joe. He's lying to you.
But yes, so on lap 15 or so, Husky is going to have a rather horrific accident. The kind of thing that most people would never walk away alive from. But because he's Husky and because he's in a Porsche, and because this is Gran Turismo, not only is he actually going to walk away from it, he's going to be able to drive away from it as well. And the purposes of this is to literally just test the safety car system, get all the new guys who are here familiarised with that system, make sure that they all understand and know what's going on. There is no championship points or anything at stake here. This is all about a systems test for the guys who are new.
It's gonna be in the final corner, second to last corner. I have an idea
Okay.
for what I want to do.
You might not need to do anything. Bolden and Sparkane are currently fighting their way through about 6 GT cars.
Right, let me know.
Because the
they'll
way
lose
that they're
time
doing
over
it at the minute, as well as Jens, they're all together by about 3 seconds. But they are the way they were all fighting through the last pack of GT cars.
Do you want me to hold out on it, or you want me to go?
Just hold on for another lap because of where the LMP1 leader is in relation to the GT leader. We'll just wait a minute. I'm literally just waiting for the LMP1 guys to catch the GT leader and get him, but you know,
if they don't exactly get him, if they don't get him by the time the crash happens, then we can just like order Craig to fall behind if need.
Yeah, if you want to crash this lap, that'd be helpful.
Got it.
So we currently have on Twitch 10 people watching us do this as well. So the purpose is, I'll re-explain the purpose of this test. Basically, we are doing this test and setting up a crash so that we can bring a safety car out and familiarise all the new members of DRA with the safety car system and make sure that everything about it is functioning properly and is clear to the drivers. This isn't a championship point scoring round, so there is no championship fixing or race fixing going on here. We are purely doing this so that drivers can familiarise themselves with this system.
Get ready, boots, get out.
Yeah. And that is a massive off.
It's very bad off. It's very bad, oh no. There we go. There.
Right, so we are under safety car now.
I'll have to review the Zozo, diving into the pits, but
Zozo dived into the pits right as the pit lane closed. We will allow it.
Yeah, I'll check the 60 kilometers. I'll check the replay.
So
because I was right behind him when it happened.
Is doing his usual thing of backing everyone up. Craigo has to now drop behind Bolden. So if you can tell Craigo to just let the LMP1s behind him past.
Craigo, could you let the LMP1s behind you go by? Clemson, or Clemson, I still don't know how to say it, you can speed up just a little bit.
Right, so we have the LMP1s where we want. We're now waiting on Yalk and everybody else to catch up. Has Zozo got the message that it is a safety car? Right, so Sparkane's just pitted on a closed pit lane as well, by the way, so that's going to be a penalty.
Watch him for 5 seconds of fuel.
Well, he doesn't need it. He's got half a tank of fuel. Yeah, he's doing tyres as well, so there's going to be a conversation had. Right, so...
Right, okay, Joe, there's something that I want to actually test out for this race, is that the person who causes the safety car falls to the rear end of the field on the restart, or the rear end of their class.
Yeah, you can do that if you want, but...
I'll do that after the pit stops, but
yeah,
it's kind of like an IMSA / NASCAR rule.
I'm waiting on Zozo and Isaac to catch up. Could you please communicate to Bolden to drop down to 60 mph, so drop another 10 off of what he's doing?
Got it.
Just because the pack isn't quite catching up as quick as they could be. Both Isaac and Zozo are... I need to double check if Isaac pitted under that safety car as well, because the pit is still shut. So Zozo has just caught the rear of the pack up and is there with you guys. Right, so we're going to start in a minute by just opening the pit lane.
Gumball need to speed up, or is he allowed to remain the same speed?
If Gumball wants to ramp it up to 80 miles an hour again, he can now that we've got everybody together. He just needs to be conscious that not everyone behind him is capable of that speed. I think the message finally got received by the drivers that perhaps following under safety car as close as they had been isn't a good idea after the brief as well, because everybody's actually leaving a decent space now. So, just for a bit of context for the people who are watching, we're just going through a safety car procedure now, making sure everything's working as intended. The pit lane is open, so at the end of this lap we're going to go through the reshuffle after anybody's pitted, just to make sure that basically all of the cars are in the right positions for their class. Right, is everybody happy and knows that the pit lane is open? Husky.
Yeah, I just reiterated it, so they should know.
Yen's going for the pit lane, Sparkane staying out, Kragos going in, Yalk is going in, Clemson, Sem, basically the entirety of the GT class has just committed to the pit lane, except for Yannick, Isaac and Zorro. So this restart might be a bit interesting, because you're going to have Yannick and Isaac on the medium, Zorro on the soft ahead of all of you, because they either stopped before the safety car or just literally in the minutes before they'd have stopped for tyres and fuel, so they're going to be in an interesting position. Phil is the first person out of the pits. It looks like he's not taken much fuel. He's taken mediums and some fuel. Everyone else has taken fuel, a combination of fuel and tyres. The only person who hasn't is Sem. He's taken fuel only, which is an interesting call. Right, is Bolden still our leader? Yes. Right, in that case, could you please instruct Jens on the main straight to pass the GT cars separating him and the LMP1 class, because it's 3 cars, so we don't need to instruct the entire GT class to drop back.
Got it.
Everyone in GT is on the same lap as well, so we don't need to do any GT relapping stuff. It's literally just instruct all of those GTs to stay to the left and let Jens go to the right on the front straight. It is... oh, that's really helpful. Yannick decided to pull to the right.
Is there any damage given, or is it...
No, it's just a procedural thing.
Okay.
It's a procedural thing and a safety thing. That it's not good for him to be pulling over to the right when, you know, there's a car that's been instructed to pass everybody on the right, and he's pulled into the side of the circuit that car's passing on. Right, race is going to resume at the end of this lap. Right, so hello to all of the people watching. We've currently got 11 viewers at the moment. We're just coming to the end of a safety car period here in the DRA Endurance Series Prologue. We're just in the process of getting everybody back to the green flag now. Currently your leader is Bolden in the Audi R18 for Nexus Racing, followed by Sparkane for Spark Racing, followed by Jens for WSR Audi, followed by Yannick, class-leading Nova Motorsports Porsche in LMGT, followed by Zozo, the Spark Racing Audi R8, followed by Isaac, the IB Racing Ferrari, WSR Chaos Phil, the WSR Lexus driver, Craigo, the 9PP driver, and yeah. Bolden now going. Yannick going as well. Now Bolden and Jens really starting to ramp the pace up here. They have pulled about 0.7 of a second on Sparkane already. Yannick currently about half a second clear of Zozo in PT. Zozo currently on the soft tyre, Yannick on the medium, so Zozo's going to be putting a lot of pressure onto Yannick right now. Behind them is Isaac in the IB Racing Ferrari, also on the medium tyre, currently under pressure from the soft tyre shod Craigo, followed by Sem in a medium shod Lamborghini, followed by Chaos Phil in a medium shod Lexus, followed by Yalk in a medium shod Lamborghini, followed by Husky and Clemson, both on soft tyres. So right now, as things are, we currently have in the top 4 in GT, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different manufacturers in the top 5, 6 manufacturers in the top 6 even. 7, you have the top 7. The top 7, I cannot even believe I'm saying that after last season. The top 7 cars in the GT class are currently represented by 7 different manufacturers. It just goes to show the wonders that the regulation changes in the off-season have made to this series. Zozo just starting to pressure Yannick here. Yannick trying to defend, obviously at a slight disadvantage as a result of the tyres. This is going to be a rather interesting battle to follow because both of these cars are relatively evenly matched around here. Now Zozo just pulling out of the slipstream, running side by side with Yannick at the moment. Yannick looking for a way back past Zozo into turn 1. Is he going to have a quick look to the inside? No, he's not. Perhaps he is. A small touch there going into turn 1. Zozo goes a little bit deep. Yannick running all over the rear bumper of Zozo. Craigo now in the middle of this as well. Craigo forcing the issue through the inside of turn 3. Now he's all over the rear bumper of Zozo. Now he's looking to the inside, hard on the brakes at turn 4. Zozo on the outside of Craigo here. Yannick following both of them through as well as Sem starts closing up in the Lamborghini, as well as Isaac in the IB Racing Ferrari. We could be in for a 5-way fight for the lead here, ladies and gentlemen, in the GT class. Now the other interesting thing here is with Craig in the lead and Zozo P2, Zozo is on a worn set of tyres, Yannick is also on a partially worn set of tyres, so is Sem and Isaac. Can any of the cars behind start to capitalise on this now with slightly fresher tyres? Craigo's starting to just ease off into the distance a little bit from Zozo. The tyre wear on that Audi, where he didn't change the tyres at that last stop, starting to show a little bit. Just starting to become a little bit more obvious than it was perhaps 2 or 3 laps ago. Zozo now under pressure from Sem and Yannick behind again. This could be a really interesting fight here because both Yannick and Sem are on the medium tyre compared to the top 2 both being on the soft tyre. Isaac on the medium tyre, now coming under attack from Chaos Phil in the Lexus, also running a medium tyre at the moment. Yalk just having a healthy handful of the rear bumper of Isaac's Ferrari there. The pack of cars in this group, made up of 4 cars, all different manufacturers. Phil, Yalk, Isaac and Clemson, all in different cars, all fighting for that crucial 5th position at the moment. Isaac pulling out of Yalk's slipstream just ever so slightly on the main straight. Clemson making it 3 wide down the front straight. Clemson just hard on the brakes there, sliding up into position 1 of this pack. Net position 5 in the class at the moment. Chaos Phil P4. Clemson now closing up onto Chaos Phil as well. Yannick still trying to hold on to the coattails of the battle in front of him. Both Sem and Zozo really starting to fight here, with both cars very much using up as much of the space as they can, and all this is doing is helping Craigo run off into the distance. Just under 15 minutes left to go here at Barcelona. Will we see any more changes for position? Zozo currently P2 in the class, Sem P3, Yannick P4. And Yannick just tagging Zozo there into the gravel on the final corner. That is not going to be a very fun discussion post-race between those two drivers. Yannick just starting to ramp the pace up. He's starting to catch Sem as well here. Craigo now really running off into the distance. 3.3 second gap. And not much he can do in terms of running off other than just keep doing what he has been doing. Making sure that people make mistakes. Now, this is about to get really interesting because Bolden, the LMP1 leader and the overall leader of this race, is now carving his way through this traffic in his R18. This is going to get really interesting for a number of reasons, primarily of which these GT cars are extremely close together, and Barcelona is not a track that is all that comfortable to be lapping other GT cars on in this weather, let alone with an LMP car. Like, yes, you may have a downforce advantage, however, it doesn't mean anything when these GTs are pack racing like this, where you might come across 5 of them, like Bolden just has, all trying to fight for one bit of road. Now Jens is in this battle as well. Jens, 10 seconds of separation between himself and Bolden at the moment. Bolden currently lapping faster than he was in qualifying by about 0.2 of a second. It'll be as a result of the lower fuel loads at this stage of the race. Sem and Clemson just starting to close up between each other now. The other thing to add into this is Jens is now right with them as well. The blue flags are out for these two GT cars. A small run in the gravel there from Yannick. This could be really interesting because the LMP of Jens has just caught up to both of these cars in a really critical place in terms of downforce. And there we go, Jens now just absolutely charging his way past, using the higher top speed to his advantage. Yannick weaving all over the place, trying to keep the slipstream from Jens on the way down to turn 1. Clemson comes through. Oh, sorry. Clemson comes through on Yannick and then drops back behind him again. I'm not sure whether that was some lag there or not. Currently Yannick P3 in the GT class at the moment as Sparkane comes through in the Porsche 919, starting to really take advantage of all of the track he can use, really trying to fight his way through this class battle going on in the LMGT class. Clemson all over the back of Yannick again now, looking to the outside of the hairpin. Yannick looking for the inside at the kink. Can he make it? No, a slight bit of contact there going in. Both of these drivers going absolutely flat out, trying to catch Sem in front of them. Clemson obviously quite frustrated at the moment. He could get the 1-2 for 9 pp here with both of these BMW M6s. Yannick starting to pressurise Clemson just a little bit. Sem just starting to come under pressure as well. Just about 5 minutes left in this race now, and these cars are still all absolutely running nose to tail. Isaac just having a momentary look to the inside of Zozo there, going into turn 4. Zozo just defending it. Isaac going to start ramping the pressure up now, I have a feeling, because well, Zozo is on a rather worn set of soft tyres. Isaac is on a rather lightly worn set of medium tyres, so the pace difference, Zozo goes off into the gravel and has to rejoin the circuit, spinning that Audi around. The tyre wear obviously just catching him out there on the way through that corner. Now Clemson just ever so slightly deep there into the gravel in his chase of Sem. That's going to allow Yannick to close up coming onto the main straight. Will we start seeing a bit more action between these two drivers again here? Yannick rather wisely choosing to stay behind Clemson for the time being. Both drivers starting to close up on Sem in front of them. Clemson's slight tyre advantage as things are with the compound difference. However, both of these cars are rapidly approaching a crossover point for tyre wear during this race. So right now we're going to start having another three-way battle for P2 overall in the GT class. Right now it is currently Crago leading with 4 minutes left on the clock. Sem P2, P3 Clemson, P4 Yannick, P5 Chaos Phil, P6 Yalk, P7 Isaac, P8 Zozo, P9 Husky. Now, apologies for the lack of LMP1 coverage. There's only 3 LMP1s currently. Bolden is leading by about 26 seconds, followed by Jens, the WSR Audi driver, followed by Sparkane, the Porsche 919. These cars split over about 33 seconds between all 3 of them. Meanwhile, back in the GT class, Sem is about to start coming under pressure from Clemson. Both of these cars starting to creep towards each other as a result of tyre wear and tyre temperature as well. If I was Sem right now, I would starting to be quite worried, because not only can I see Clemson behind me, who's in this huge BMW, but I'm also in the back of that image, I'm going to be seeing Yannick darting in and out of his slipstream looking for opportunities to go past, which is just going to, in my mind, if I was in that Lamborghini that Sem's in right now, I'd be thinking, how long before both of these guys come past me? Because I know if you're in the position he is, where the guys behind you might have a tyre advantage, even a slight one, like a bit of a temperature advantage, you're going to be sat there thinking, when are they going to choose to, come past? And in truth, I think Clemson has the luxury of kind of picking whenever he wants to come past as his moment to overtake. Now Clemson, all the way under the rear wing of that Lamborghini now. Sem, ever so slight snap of oversteer coming through T3, and that's going to allow Clemson through. Yannick, slight hints of understeer from that Porsche now on these worn tyres. The critical thing here now for this trio of drivers fighting for second overall is to just try and hold on for as long as you can. And if that means holding on for little under a minute, which is all they have to do now, all Clemson has to do.
Car in the front straight, I think. Yeah. Check front straight, P12.
Yeah, it's Zozo. I think there was an issue there or something. There's going to be a conversation anyway post-race with that team because of the safety car stuff. There's also going to be a conversation between Yalk and us, as well as WSR, because Yalk has just had some pretty significant contact with WSR Chaos Phil on the last couple of corners. I've been making notes of what we need to talk about. So, as things are right now, Craigo has won a 1-2 for 9 pp in the LMGT class. Sem comes P3, Yannick P4, Yalk P5, Phil P6, Isaac P7, Husky P8, Zozo is going to be the last car to cross the line in P9 in the LMGT class after a rather unfortunate series of circumstances that saw him absolutely all over the place. So, all in all, that is the DRA Prologue for everybody watching. I am your host, Joe90. I will be back next time for DRA Round 1 of Season 2.